A very pleasant good morning to everyone. We would like to acknowledge once again those seated at the presidential table. The Honorable Secretary EPIRA of the Department of Justice, the Honorable Chief of the Public Attorney's Office. It's a good title to call her the Chief, you know, like it was in ancient times. When you say Chief, talagang may pinanggagalingan. Maraming salamat po for joining us today. And then we have, of course, Antonio Butch Valdes of the Save the Nation movement, Colonel Herbert Escalera. They will all be part of the question and answer and our open forum from the, you can see the title, Citizen National Guard. We have the oath of to our flag recited to us by Major Ramon Horacio Gonzalez. I'm introducing already in advance the Renaissance of the Philippines Foundation, Mr. Ramon Pedrosa. I am Rita Gaden. You can see how nervous I am, especially we're in front of the Marines and all of this. But we have this morning a very important gathering, and we are very grateful that all of you have attended. By way of introducing exactly why we're gathered here, let me quote from Marcus Tullius Cicero so that you can get the tenor of why we have gathered here today. A nation can survive its fools and even the ambitious, but it cannot survive treason. An enemy at the gates is less formidable, for he is known and carries his banner openly, but the traitor moves amongst those within the gates freely. His sly whispers rustling through the alleys, heard in the very halls of government itself. For the traitor appears not as a traitor. He speaks in accents familiar to his victims, and he wears their face and their arguments. He appeals to the baseness that lies deep within the hearts of all men. He rots the soul of the nation secretly, and unknown in the night, he undermines the pillars of the city. He infects the body politic. A murderer is less to fear. This is from Marcus Aurelius Cicero, and with that you would know why we are gathered here today. I would like to introduce, first of all, the think tank, so to speak, of this gathering from the Save the Nation movement, Mr. Antonio Butch Valdes.
Good morning. I have the honor to read to you the statement coming from the Citizen National Guard and the Save the Nation movement. And we entitle it, A Call to Defend the Republic Against the Enemies of the State. When present conditions of terrorism, rebellion, drug proliferation, and insidious attempt towards regime change by foreign intelligence agencies have reached critical levels, threatening the welfare of our citizenry, peace and order, and sovereignty of our nation. It is incumbent upon every patriotic Filipino to do as best he can to participate and support government, all its agencies, and the armed forces of the Philippines in defending the integrity of the Republic. It is our considered opinion that the Marawi siege by extremist and terrorist groups are part of a larger conspiracy to forcibly acquire Philippine territories, establish caliphates by infiltrating Muslim communities, causing mass destruction of lives and property, resulting in the general destabilization of Philippine society. That, for fear of being convicted and sentenced for crimes against the people because of plunder, murder, usurpation of authority, criminal negligence, obstruction of justice, and treason. Certain members of the previous administrations of the executive branch, legislature, and judiciary actively conspire with our other groups intent on regime change. That, in the process of asserting our country's sovereignty, President Rodrigo Duterte refused to allow our territory to be used as a military base of a foreign nation planning to install offensive nuclear armed missiles as preparation for war. That, we quote, "We are not your colony, nor are we slaves of anyone," demanding the recognition of our independence, mutual respect, enemies of no one, and promoting goodwill to all peoples of the world. That, in the process of fighting criminality, declaring war against crime, corruption, and drug syndicates, cleansing of our society of drug pushers, dealers, addicts, grafters, scalawags, and other criminal elements. A reaction of negative propaganda, presumably instigated by the regime change architects, specifically the CIA and European agencies, through New York Times, Washington Post, Rappler, etc., and with their foreign and local surrogates, seek to destroy the firm resolve and popular support of President Duterte. That, in pursuing their sinister objectives, it is not beyond the capability to create a conspiracy of forces with similar goals, including the New People's Army, Maute Group, drug syndicates, and political opposition to oust the president by all illegal means, even to the extent of assassinating him. That the resulting chaos, should their evil plan succeed, will result in an unprecedented, widespread turmoil, bloodshed, civil war, and the dismemberment of the society. A condition of little consequence to the terrorists, ideologues, drug syndicates, political opportunists, and the CIA. Therefore, we, citizens of the Sovereign Republic of the Philippines, soldiers of the Filipino people, teachers, doctors, farmers, engineers, and other professionals, students, and members of religious organizations, all sectors of society, do hereby declare that the Citizen National Guard and the Save the Nation movement reject any notion of foreign instigated and assisted regime changes, contrary to the principle of sovereignty and interest of the Filipino people. That the conspiracy of evil forces enumerated above poses as grave and imminent danger to the lives of our population, destroying the future of the coming generations, threatening the integrity and the very existence of our nation as an independent republic. That we call on all patriotic Filipinos to discard ideological differences, party affiliations, disparity of religious beliefs, and regional origins, to close our ranks, stand behind one flag, commit our honor, dedicate our lives to fight as best we can in defense of our country, support our president, and assure a better life for the coming Filipino generations. Inspired by divine providence and sincerity of our intentions, we give our solemn oath to defend and protect the integrity of the Republic as we affix our name and our sacred honor. Signed, Citizen National Guard and Save the Nation Movement.